Well, one of our users in the UK has alerted us to a problem that can occur when you are using gradients within symbols and you're using a lot of those symbols in a design. The drawing becomes slow to respond. If I click zoom out or zoom in, let's go zoom in. Notice how slow the drawing is to respond. I'm clicking and there the result. I'll click again. That worked quickly, but I'll click again and it's very slow to respond. Very kindly, he's identified the problem. A problem comes, and let's take the example of a daffodil here. See how slow it was to select it. What I want to do is right click and I want to edit, unhook the grip. Let me just to see how slow it is to even respond. I'll try again, try and pick the symbol. And we now have it. Right click, edit the block. And if we look at the flowers themselves, see there's one problem. Here's the base point. Remember that we always like to have the base point in the center. So this is made up of a series of polylines that are closed and in different colors, and a series of flowers, and the flowers got a couple of blocks within it. So there's a problem of the base point of the drawing, which means that if we close from here, if I wanted to copy that symbol within the drawing and I pick it, you may notice it takes some time, which is our earlier point, but the base point, when it eventually responds, there will be the little handle which should be well away. And, oh, in fact, it's not. Let me backtrack just a tiny bit. This symbol is made in a fairly complex way. There's the base is one of the GCAP Plus symbols, and there's a base point correctly placed. But when we pick one of the flowers, if I select the symbol, dive in and edit it on the fly, here's the base point over here, whereas the base point of the underlying vegetation is actually okay. So the problems caused, the slow response is caused by the use of course this is a block, so I'm sorry I'm getting a little tangled here, but can you see a gradient is being applied here? And I'm finding it difficult to, there's another base point well away. So let me just see if I'd love to get hold of one of those pale yellow flowers. Get hold of one of those pale yellow flowers, and that is the daffodil flower. Now let's edit it. Aha. So there's three levels of, there's a block within a block within a block, and now we're right in. So I had to do a little bit of detective work, but notice here that the gradient fill is linear and with yellow and white hues. Perfectly reasonable, gives us a nice looking symbol. Let me just take off the grid, but I'll close, and that jumps me out 3 levels back into the original drawing. Now, the long-winded way of trying to illustrate how to overcome that problem and speed the drawing up is that if we come across here and we open a file called daffodil, what I've done is try to operate now and get that symbol to work in the GCAP Plus way. So there's no blocks within blocks. There's just a circle on the plant construction layer that's 300 millimeters in diameter, and maybe it could even be a little bit smaller, but we want to be able to plant these as a clump, and so it's just a series of polylines. That's about all that's in here, but the layers are correct. Everything's on, every flower and leaf is on a layer called our plant symbol. So I think we can zoom extents. I also leave it on a white background, so let's close it. And what I'm hoping to do is to come back to this troublesome drawing, and just it won't speed up much because gradients are also used in other symbols. But just say for the sake of argument, we wanted to plant the clumps of daffodils in a corten steel ring under a tree, and the tree itself's got transparency applied, so we'll be able to see down through it. We'll illustrate that in a moment. So if we say block and add from another file, here we can find our daffodil, and we can OK that. Yes, we want to redefine it. We'll say yes to all and insert it in the drawing. With a bit of luck, its base point will be, well, it will be angled. See, I can move it around now. I can pop it down. It is slow, but we can then select it. See how easy it is to select, and I can copy it. And I've tried to indicate that it's relatively daffodil-like and in a clump at the bottom of that tree. If we wanted to make sure we can see down through it, let me just edit that symbol. I'll edit the block. Let's imagine that we have this rather large canopy bit. We can copy that and we'll put it over here. Notice how it has transparency in a range of 1 to 255. It's about half, 50% transparency. Let's do the same with the trunk, 1, 2, 5, and hit enter. Now with an ounce of luck, and we're doing this on the fly, we close the block editor, and I hope you can see that, and we'll bring the symbol, make sure it's at the front of the top, tools, tool order, bring to the front. So we're seeing down through the canopy into that area at the base, which has the corten steel ring around it. Now, it'll be slow, and we've redefined the daffodil block. Notice, because we redefined it, see how the earlier one is gone, and we're just left with these smaller ones. So we'd speed the drawing up if we got rid of the use of gradients within symbols. Try and restrict gradients for things like swimming pools and wetlands and so on, where you want to get a nicer look of water bodies. So and I hasten to add my thanks to our user in the UK who worked out that one should stay away from using gradients, and if you do that, the performance of the design will be snappy. We thank him a lot.